Hello again, Recast. Thanks for joining us for a third installment of our Questions of the Day series. We're continuing to talk about the third John sermon from Sunday. And today we're going to talk about broken leadership as it relates to Diotrephes. If you remember from this epistle, there are a few main characters. And we talked about the first one yesterday, Gaius. Gaius was really a man who showed hospitality and love to strangers. Diotrephes is the exact opposite of Gaius. Rather than being selfless and serving others, he is most concerned about himself. As a matter of fact, verse 9 describes him as a person who loves to have first place. And that word loves to have first place is an interesting one. It's used one other time in the New Testament in Colossians chapter 1:18, where it is used to describe Christ. That verse says, "And he is the head of the body, the church. He is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in everything he might be preeminent." And the idea is really that Jesus, who's the head of the church, who was the first to rise from the dead, should have first place, not only in the church, but in everything. And Diotrephes' problem, and all of his problems really, result from his desire to usurp authority that rightfully belongs only to Christ as the head of the church. Ultimately, I think Diotrephes' problem was one of pride. It was the same problem that caused Satan's fall, right? Satan desired to be like the Most High. And so Diotrephes had a whole lot of problems. He rejected authority, he slandered John, he restricted hospitality of the church towards strangers, and all of that, I think, was due to his pride and his desire to have first place. And so for our questions today, I just want you to engage with your family around the idea of pride. It's been said that pride is the root, or really the cause, of all sin, and I think there's a lot of truth to that. And so at the end of the video, I have a slide called Indicators of Pride, and I want you as a group to look through those together and talk about which ones you identify with. All of us, in some manner or another, struggle with pride, and it's important for us to identify how we do so. So look at that list and single out some that you can most identify with. And then as you keep that in your mind, I want you to think about how can you fight against that tendency toward pride by serving or putting others first. And I think Jesus is a fantastic lesson for us in the Bible about how to fight against pride, and that is by being a servant and putting others first, right? Jesus humbled himself, took on flesh, and served other people in the ultimate act of humility. And since we want to be like Christ, we want to serve others too. So take a couple minutes and talk about how you might be able to serve those around you instead of having a prideful attitude. I hope this leads to some good discussions. Thank you for tuning in again, and may you be encouraged by the Holy Spirit working through the Word in your life this week.